illustrious brother James Williams was a Masonic scholar, Missouri's representative to the renowned Quatuor Coronati Research Lodge. He maintained one of the finest private Masonic literary collections anywhere. Upon his passing in 2011, he left that collection to his brothers in Missouri. Sorting through the volumes, brothers found 4 large, brown, dusty binders bulging with typewritten pages. Upon inspecting the material in them, the brothers realized they had discovered a Masonic treasure. Ray V. Denslow was arguably the most prolific Masonic author of the 20th century. Among his books were Territorial Masonry, The Story of Freemasonry and the Louisiana Purchase, Civil War and Masonry, History of Cryptic Masonry, and on and on. Not only does that list not scratch the surface, but it also does not include the dozens of pamphlets he authored. Most Worshipful Brother Denslow served as Missouri's Grand Master in 1931 and 32. He was a founding member and master of the Missouri Lodge of Research, had a close friendship with President Harry Truman, and served as Truman's emissary on Masonic missions around the world. From 1942 to 1945, he served as General Grand High Priest of the General Grand Chapter of Royal Arch Masons International. To that impressive Masonic resume, we can add what he considered his crowning achievement, the founding of the Royal Arch Mason magazine in 1943. You may have heard of it. You might, in fact, have a copy of it sitting in your living room. He passed his passion for writing on to his son, William R. Denslow, best known for his iconic work, 10,000 Famous Freemasons. He also passed something else along to his son, those 4 large brown binders bulging with typewritten pages. Brother Denslow, it seems, was a compulsive man. At home, he lived at his typewriter and pounded out every minute of his Masonic journey, the good, the bad, and yes, the ugly. He left those binders with his son, and his son, in turn, handed them to Jim Williams with the strict caveat that they were not to be published until everyone mentioned in them had passed away. And for good reason. Ray Denslow pulled no punches. The pages in his memoir record in detail his experiences as an author, a leader, and Truman's personal representative as he operated at the zenith of the craft. It is a study in Masonic politics at the highest level. It is a rewarding story of how Denslow made friends across the globe and worked to unify Masonry at the close of World War II. It is also a record of how he crossed swords with a few of the most powerful and influential Masons of his time. Work on compiling and editing this material has been in process for over a year. Now, over a half century after his death, the fraternity is about to see a new book, not about, but by this great Masonic author. The Missouri Lodge of Research did not strictly adhere to the stipulation that everyone mentioned in the book must have passed away prior to its publication. His granddaughter, Judith Denslow Erickson, and his grandson, William R. Denslow Jr., are not only still around, but each contributed to the book. His grandson, Bill, in fact, helped with the editing process and is the executive editor of the manuscript, bringing the Denslow name to a 3rd generation of significant Masonic works. The first volume of this 2-volume set, Ray V. Denslow's Masonic Journey, is now hot off the presses. the Missouri Lodge of Research will distribute a hardbound copy, free of charge, to each of its members, beginning at the Grand Lodge of Missouri's annual communication in September. Frankly, the best way to ensure getting a copy will be to join the Missouri Lodge of Research. Volume 2, as well as softcover and Kindle editions, will follow in 2019. It's a must-read for serious students of Masonic history. For the Whence Came You podcast, this is Steve Harrison with the Masonic Minute.